lovely. That is bulleted. So possibly two hottest drivers for 2022, the Callaway Rogue ST Max, ultimate forgiveness, fast ball speeds, low spin, up against the new Cobra LTDx. Again, high forgiveness, high ball speeds, low spin. We're going to put these up against each other, head-to-head battle. Trackman on the floor, decide the sort of numbers and the performance between these two drivers. Okay, so it's me, two hot drivers for 2022. So we're going to kick things off with the Callaway, the Rogue ST, and it's the Max. So ultimate forgiveness is what Callaway is saying, jailbreak technology, flash face. We see all the technology happening in the club. Ultimate forgiveness, high MOI, but with a low spin, and definitely a theme we see for the drivers from 2022 with the launches from all the different brands. So we're going to test really, obviously, ball speed, we're going to take a look at that distance, but also that dispersion, you know, talking about this high MOI, maximum forgiveness, straight hitting in these drivers is also a big advantage of hitting more fairway. So Rogue Max. Okay, so we saw some very solid numbers with the Rogue ST on the Max. First shot there, just peel that a little bit up the right side, just that little bit of that heel strike, just get that little bit of gear effect, left to right shape. But you see 113.7, 163 ball, spinning around at 2.5, carrying out at 273. So this is a 9-degree head, just set at 9 degree, just sits really quite square, I think, for a Max headed driver. Obviously that matte carbon top, which I like. It's a big footprint down by that golf ball, fills you with a lot of confidence. That's a good straight flying shot on that one. 114, just short 164.3. A little bit higher in the face. I'm just going to track strike here because obviously that can influence obviously the spin numbers, the launch angles a little bit. Slightly higher, so it pulls that little bit of spin off. Good carry. 286. So I was super impressed with the Callaway. You know, I felt it was a really good looking golf club. It was a great sound to it. Super feel off that club face. It provided some good numbers on my review. Good central strike, good ball speed 165. Just launched that a little bit low, a little bit less spin. So you see that just drops a little bit, carry, just that launch was a touch low on that particular shot. Just also added a little column on there, spin axis, which is quite an interesting one maybe to look at in terms of this accuracy and controlling the side spin. So we're talking about high MOI, you know, these brands are really raging about this for 2022. Obviously creating more stable on those missed hits, trying to stabilize the spin axis of the golf ball, which ultimately the higher that number, the more curvature you're going to see on that golf ball through the air. So positive spin axis is going to be a left to right shape, a negative would be a right to left ball flight. Again, that's a really nice ball flight. Touch higher in the face, yeah, I could feel that. That just popped that launch up a little bit, around that 13, pulls the spin off, 1500, more my strike than anything else, but again, very straight ball flight. Okay, so I'm just going to alternate drivers now, moving into the Cobra. I'm going to go back into the Callaway. Just don't feel like I've hit that brilliantly in those 4 shots, in all honesty, but the results have been pretty good. So moving into the Cobra LTDx, so we've got that weighted screw at the back. We've also got that PWR core sort of technology, which Cobra call it, which is that weight push down and forward as well, which was an interesting one in terms of creating that low spin, but creating as much forgiveness as possible. Sometimes we don't associate the two things together. Probably the look down by the golf ball in comparison to the Callaway, very similar on that front to back on the head size. This is a 10.5 head. I've lofted this down to 9.5, which is close to what so I want to see as a loft. Exactly the same shaft in both of these, tensile white, 65 in X. Let's give the Cobra a hit. Ooh, that's a cracker. That's a super ball flight. Yeah, touch high, fraction heel, but I'll tell you what, that felt really, really solid. Ball speed 163.6, good launch, good spin, 282. What I maybe sort of said in my review video with the Cobra, I just felt like, you know, the looks didn't blow me away. I don't mind it at all. I think it's a good looking club, but it doesn't go, I don't put it down and go, wow, yeah, that's like really turns me on in a way, or really gets my juices sort of flowing. The feel of it was a little bit, I felt a little bit hard off the club face, which is a feel. I know everybody's feels a little bit different. It just felt a little bit harsh off the face, but the numbers were really good. Again, I didn't feel perfect, just pulled a little bit up that left side, yeah, slightly high in the face. Definitely get some feedback through those strikes, just pulls that spin down as we know, 276. Yeah, good strike, 165. Oh, that's lovely. That is bulleted. Yeah, good strike, 165. Let's drop a tiny bit there, yeah, 164.6, 12 launch, great spin there. That's my sort of window. I want to get it about that 2000 to 22 sort of 100 area is really good for me. And as long as I get that launch up, gets those distance, 283 up there, great spin axis, only 1.5. Okay, just seem to have a little bit left to right on that shot. Yeah, just heel strike again, just gives it a little bit of gear, but it's not excessive, and that spin axis is going to go up. Get a bit of that gear effect spin, just pops up a little bit there, but some good ball speed again. Okay, so back into the Rogue ST Max, another 4 shots. Wow, okay, that was a real high in the face. That's popped up high there because of that ball strike, 15 degrees. Didn't feel good, spin drops down, but look at that carry. We always know when we get a high launch, low spin, it's always a good recipe for extra yards, isn't it? I mean, that didn't feel good as a strike where I've hit that. And even that ball speed there isn't fantastic through that missed strike, but again, that formula of that high launch, low spin just helps to get some sneaky yards out of that. So for me, I'm really sort of moving this strike around this club face, really testing this forgiveness. Yeah, not a bad strike, just peeling up that right there. As you see, that spin axis obviously pops up a little bit more. There's a little bit more like shaping on that golf ball. Positive 30, see that fade comes in, but good spin there. Launch, again, a little bit higher through that slightly open, probably club face there. It's created that absolute, also it's created that ball flight, 284 carry. A little bit up that left fractionally. Moving that club a little bit quicker here now, just get that bit of confidence. 166 ball. Again, that spin's like really low, isn't it? Okay, let's hit the final 4 shots with the Cobra. Oh, pull that a tiny bit. Strike's good, flight's really good. Looks to be very, very straight. Just a touch up that left-hand side. 164.5 ball. 281 that carry. It's got a little bit of that spin axis just kicking in up that. Bring that back to that middle of the fairway. Okay, so we're going to hit one more with the Cobra, then we're going to check a few numbers out. That's a nice one to finish on. Really good. Neutral ball flight, great flight, good launch there, and a decent number to finish up on. Okay, so 8 shots hit with each alternating. Let's go and check a few numbers out. Okay, I just want to kick things off looking at the strike to start off with. So heat patch on all the 8 shots I hit with the Callaway Rogue is what I'm showing you at the moment. So you can see just a little bit, so I mean it looks quite tight that, but it's a little bit higher in the face, a couple of little sort of spread around a little bit. Just moving into the Cobra there you go. You can see how there's a little bit more red there, a little bit more consistent in the same position. Again, just touch high, probably a little bit in that heel if we're going to get really sort of picky. But maybe just that slightly tighter strike dispersion there with the Cobra. Okay, let's have a look at the numbers, and we've got obviously the Callaway on the bottom, so 114.5, 113.5. So move the Callaway a fraction quicker on that particular test there. The ball speed, you can see 163.6, 163.9. So there's not a great deal of difference in the ball speed in comparison to that club head speed. I'd probably expect to see a little bit more with that Callaway. But having said that, we've just looked at the strike pattern, wasn't quite as tight. So I'm going to lose a little bit of ball speed through my ball strike in there, aren't I? So I think if I struck it exactly the same, again, this is testing, isn't it? It's human testing. If it was in a robot, hit exactly the same part of the club head, would we see a difference? That's probably an unrealistic comparison in a way, because we're not robots, are we? We're going to hit different parts of the club head. Whole idea of this MOI is create sort of moment inertia, is helping on those slight miss hits. So, you know, I'd expect to see a little bit more with that club head speed, but again, the strike pattern is dictating that. Launching very similar there around that sort of 12 mark. You can see the spin number with the Callaway just a little bit lower at 18, 71 against the 2322. Do prefer obviously that, more of that number, which is going to allow me to get a little bit more consistency, I would say, in terms of the flight I'm getting. A couple of low spinners there with the Callaway. But ultimately it ended up at 279, 279, absolutely identical. A little bit more run out of the Callaway because of the slightly lower spin, so the descent angle coming in at a little bit sort of hotter, which is going to get a run out. Obviously, run out's very dictated through your ground conditions, what it's landing on. We can't dictate that, can we? Which one would I prefer? So if I'm going to go purely on looks, I'm probably just going to edge towards the Callaway, just a little bit cleaner on that head, the matte black. Post your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. Cobra or Callaway? I think there is only about £30 difference between these, with the Callaway being a little bit more expensive than the Cobra, so there's not much in it on price. Whether that would make your influence of buying different, love to hear your thoughts as always. Hopefully, we'll catch up with you all very soon.